It's a great, great day. It's a good day. Get up. Can't you see the sun shining? I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah. I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. Oh, yeah. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's beautiful. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. Woo! It's a great, great day. It's a good day. Get up. Can't you see the sun shining? I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah. I know this'll be the day. Oh, yeah. Everything will be okay. I kiss my cares all away. Oh, yeah. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Oh yeah. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good.
Good morning. Thank you guys for joining us today on a Wednesday, a Can't Stop, Won't Stop Wednesday. Mr. John, so thank you for joining us, first of all. And we're just going to do a quick overview and a couple of reminders for our agents. But today we have a thing called Can't Stop, Won't Stop Wednesday.
Okay.
And the idea behind that is you kind of get, like Monday, people are catching up on things, right? So you're hitting the ground and you have Monday. And Friday, people are like super excited about it, right? And then Thursday is like pre-Friday, right? So that's like a thing. And then Wednesday needs its own, because you're like in the middle of the week and whatever. So it's like when we put in the most effort of the week. So it's Can't Stop, Won't Stop Wednesday.
All right,
yeah, and you just move things forward. So we also have agent meetings. So that's the reminder to everybody here at 10 o'clock in the morning. We do have agent meetings. We have a special one today. So we have Katy leading the agent meetings this week. So welcome back to Katy. And we're looking forward to the topics that she's going to cover. We're going to have the link chatted in the description for everybody, so you guys have that link, and we'll get that for you and remind you guys about those meetings. But please be there, be prompt, have your camera on, and be ready at 10 a.m. Thank you guys for that, and we're going to get started here with John in just a second. So John, go ahead and hit the bell, and we'll get started. Perfect. Who is John? Let's discuss John. So John, I've known you for like ever, it seems.
Long time, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Like pretty much you're one of the first people I was lucky enough to meet when we moved to Dallas area.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about you. This is kind of your introduction.
So I'm John Lutcza with Gold Financial Services. Been in the mortgage industry for 23 years, and every day is an adventure in this lovely business. So we have been married for 20 years and have two gorgeous daughters, one about to be 18 and one just turned 15. So I'm losing hair over that. And that's kind of my story.
Now, I want to be sure and we're clear on this one. On the whole married 18 years. That's
married 20, almost 20.
20 years. But you have to your wife.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, good. I wanted to make sure that you weren't implying that I've known you a long time, John. And yes, yeah, exactly, right? So that's perfect. All right. So, and then you're a lender.
Yes. So,
and talk about that for just a little bit.
So we're a local lender here in Dallas. We have our office. We have a complete underwriting department, processing department, closing department, all under one roof. So we're able to get deals done a lot quicker than some of our competitors. It's helped, especially in this market right now, as everyone sees the stress and strain of importance of getting things done quickly in a time frame. I mean, in 23 years of business, I've some of the stuff we're seeing in contracts right now, where we're waiving mortgage contingencies, waiving appraisals, things like that, means your mortgage lender really needs to be on point to deliver for your buyers and for your sellers. We understand that there's a lot of moving parts with the home loan. It's a very emotional process too. You have people that are selling and they could be relocating out of state. There's timelines, and it's important that we're able to deliver that. And I think that's something that we've done really well at, Mike.
Yep. So we're going to share all your pertinent contact information. We just displayed your website, so that's there. And there's a little parallel. So let me think of the name here. Shana has an agent that she did a lot of business with.
Okay.
And one of her first transactions that she ever did was directly with this agent, and they both knew nothing. They were like both super, super green, right? And I'm lacking the agent's name, but she's a very well-known agent. I know her really well, and I have no idea why I'm having this brain issue right now. And my wife's not there right now, so I can't even ask her. But it was her first transaction and she did with them. And she has like this funny story about how long that's been. And I'm sure everyone out there knows exactly who it is because I reference it from time to time. But so it is. So if anyone remembers for me, please chat that one in. But you would be my version.
Thank you.
Of, right? Because we've known each other so long. And in the beginning, we didn't know anything. Right? There was a time when you first started. Yep. And so you've been around so long within the mortgage industry that you know a lot.
Yep.
And you've seen a lot of things. And time is amazing at establishing just like knowledge, right? You've just seen so many things.
Yes, we've seen what works and what doesn't work, for sure.
It's amazing. And you've seen the up times and the down times.
Yes.
And I used to be in lending at one time, and I got out during the financial crisis, and I was like, see ya. Yeah. And you stayed with it.
We did. Yep. We dug in, stuck through it, and it's worked out well. I mean, it's love the industry, but we always say each year it seems like we're hit with some new challenge to overcome, right? And I guess that's what makes us better at our craft.
Yeah, no, for sure. So let's call that one a wrap, and then we're going to talk about what makes John so different in the next segment. What is a non-QM home loan? That's the question that we're posing right now. That is John Lutcza. He's going to let us know what it is and tell us why it's different and who it's used best for, and why you, John, are very, very good at helping out people like this, but how it's different, right?
Yeah.
And there's a huge thing here. It's really important that people understand, and that's why I'm begging the agents to kind of tune in here a little different, because you're going to help business owners.
100%, yes.
And this should grow your business, because it's a segment you are most likely ignoring. And John swims in the exact opposite direction of like every other mortgage.
Right. I mean, so, Mike, you hit on a topic there that's really, really important with that, is that this is definitely going to help people grow their business. We're still in uncharted waters with the way the market is right now. And, what a non-QM loan is basically just it's a non-traditional type of home loan, okay? We do our traditional home loans, our conventional, our jumbos, our FHA, our VAs, everything, and we do those extremely well. Mm-hmm. But this other segment of home loan that's out there, or I should say products that are available, we really need to kind of understand them, get educated on them, because it's a large there's a large amount of people that are missing the boat on this. And, as an agent, as a lender, it's our duty to inform people of loans that they could possibly qualify for. So again, what a non-QM loan is, a non-traditional type of home loan. Pretty much it's geared towards a self-employed business owner. It allows alternate forms of income to be used to prove what you're making annually. Okay, so
I like that. That sounds really good.
Yeah.
So the big difference is a traditional loan or conforming loan is going to use full documentation.
Right, your traditional 2 years tax returns, business returns, everything's signed, sealed, stamped. And this is an alternate way of showing income.
So a person like myself, as a business owner, what we're going to do is we're going to want to take advantage of every opportunity to write off all of our expenses. And if you expense stuff, so you have your income that comes in, but they don't count your top line income.
Right.
What you're going to look at in a traditional mortgage is like, okay, how much did you make? And you're like, well, no, really, how much did you make?
What did you end up paying tax on? Correct.
Yeah. So now my number comes down, and not necessarily my number, but all business owners are most likely going to do something similar. Then you get down to this bottom number, and you're like, that's perfect. My whole goal is to maximize the tax code.
Correct.
To make sure that I pay as little in taxes as possible and do it legally and correctly.
Yes.
But I'm going to expense my expenses, and then I have a lower income. And that's amazing to pay less in taxes. But then the flip side is it hurts
when you're going to buy something big, like the home.
So I have a challenge.
Yes.
But these business owners now most likely have something different. Like they have equity or cash.
Yes.
And they need to qualify for mortgage. They still need a place to live.
Correct. So, these programs, Mike, that's exactly what it's geared for, right? As a self-employed business owner, you should be taking advantage of the tax codes. That's what puts you in a better position to open other businesses, to keep your business thriving, right? And you shouldn't be penalized for what the bottom line number was on your tax return. If we were all able to do it, I think we all would.
Yeah.
So with a non-QM type program, and it's not the crazy subprime stuff from years past. I mean, these are truly qualified type deals, okay? So one option, Mike, would be we look at bank statements as an income. Correct. Yeah, we can take 12 months worth of business bank statements, 12 months worth of personal, either one, right? And we do a kind of a calculation and a percentage of what we'll use as that income. So if you're looking at your monthly deposits over 12 months, we look at them. If there's something that's just a reoccurring, we might back that out, but we're looking at, how much are you depositing monthly? That's one program, right?
It's kind of common sense, right? So if you run a business and you get paid on commissions, and you're able to prove, like, no, I actually get these commissions.
You make this money, yes.
Yep, and then, so that's my income.
Yep.
And then there's likely some type of adjustment based on the business they're in,
Correct.
on what the bank statements are.
Kind of do a quick analysis on how much your overhead is, right? Like
Yep.
and it really works good is because when you're pretty much like, a smaller business even where there's not a ton of overhead, that means the majority of that deposit is your income, which we're going to let you use. I mean, kind of the flip is that, for a traditional home loan, we're qualifying on your gross earnings, right? Well, in reality, when you're 1099 or self-employed, these are your gross earnings, right? So it makes sense. So a bank statement is one option we do a lot of, right?
Okay.
Another one is we actually have a 1099 program, okay, where they take just the 1099. There's some other caveats to it, and they use that as your income.
Okay.
One of my favorites is that.
Well, that actually makes sense because somebody's actually saying, this is what I'm paying you.
This is what I made, right, exactly.
Yeah. Hello.
And then again, it doesn't fit for everybody, but for the right people, it does, and it works well for. Another program, which is one of my favorites, is a P&L program, okay? So what it is it's a P&L prepared by the business owner's accounting firm or accountant, whoever handles their books, right? And what we're using on that is we're looking at what's their P&L look like, okay? How much money do they make? Profit and loss statement, right? I mean, anyone that runs a business is running on a P&L, okay? And you know what you have coming in, what your outgoing is. And if that balances out, we look at those numbers in a positive way, and that can be used to purchase the home, okay?
Perfect.
So many alternate ways of qualifying instead of just the traditional, here's my tax returns, I know I wrote a ton of stuff off, what can we do?
And we have problem after problem with something like this, John, as a business owner, right?
Yes.
And that's why we struggle and turn to somebody who can do something a little bit different.
Right.
And I can't tell you how many people are moving from a traditional W-2 income to something non-traditional for income.
Yes.
They might have a side hustle. They might have something else that might expand and go. They might be doing any type of contractor work where it's anything related to homes, renovations, remodel, like just consulting. It's endless, the amount of things that people could be doing.
Absolutely. And, you want to encourage people. I mean, our country grows on growth from business owners, right? So you don't want to discourage someone from starting their dream of opening up a business, right? And this program has helped thousands of people get into homes, that maybe they thought they couldn't. Again, as a savvy business owner, typically these loan programs require a larger down payment, okay? Yeah. So typically our down payment is about 20% down, depending on scores and stuff. There's some even that we can do up to with a 10% down payment. Again, as a business owner, if you're running a successful business, it shouldn't be too hard to put that money together, right?
Yeah. So roughly 20% down. I love the concept, right? And then there's going to be an interest rate adjustment.
There is. Yep. There's a slight, just because of the risk factor, right? Because it's we're not qualifying the traditional way, right? So there's a rate hit, but honestly, it's really minimal. And really, Mike, that kind of brings up a good point too. Is if you kind of outweigh and do the math, which you can get there and do the calculations, even for taking a slight rate adjustment or slight rate hit for it, if you did the math on what that hit was for owning the home at a slightly higher interest rate versus what you've been paying out in tax liability, even probably just in 1 year, okay, the rate basically still takes care of itself on it. I mean, it
totally does. But there's so many people, John, and that's what I want to make sure that the agents understand, that are underserved in this. And I don't know the exact number, but there's a ton of small business owners and a ton of people that do things in this non-traditional way that are underbanked because they don't have great options for getting mortgages. And you've been in the industry long enough. As a business owner, I can't tell you how many times people are like, oh, I'd love to lend to you, but and like it's a super hard no. It's like there's no starting it. It's like, well, what if? And I was talking to somebody the other day, right? And I was like, well, what if I had 50% down? They're like, no. What if I had 80% down? They're like, no. Like, it's just like, no is the answer. There's not a compensating factor, which really doesn't make any sense.
Especially when you have assets, right? And you have a track record of making money and running successful businesses. And that's the thing, is that there are so many people that need help with a program like this. And it's a way really to separate yourself and even go after that type of business. Because let's be realistic, most business owners know other business owners, right? I mean, I get a ton of referrals from this program. From, this one owns a convenience store, right? And then he knows so and so owns the supply chain for a supply company for
and they
whatever.
all have the same problems.
Right. They have phenomenal credit, right? You need to have great credit for this program, but most business owners do, right? Because some of your businesses are ran on credit, right? So, it's a really good program that helps people that may or may not have been able to get in a house, get into a home right now.
Yep. So if you need something non-traditional and you have a business owner and they're having a challenge getting a loan or right now, so what I would ask is think of 3 small business owners you know right now.
Great
and this
idea.
is your challenge. Think of 3 small business owners you know now. Okay. And think about what they're currently doing for their housing. And after you think about those people, reach out to them today. Okay. Call each of those small business owners. And you can skip me, right? Like, you don't have to reach out to me directly. But think about 3 different people. Yeah. Think about 3 people you know. Call them up and say, there's non-traditional programs that are non-QM that we can get you approved for different things. If you have this other thing, would it be helpful to you to know a little more information about it, right? So that you could consider doing something in today's market and get into a different place and see how that works. And then if it does, then you can go ahead and give John a call. So John's phone number is
214-251-6526. That's
perfect.
Fine.
So that's my challenge for today. Give John a call today, and I bet you will start growing your business, and he'll work super hard to get referral after referral after referral and keep this chain going.
Yes.
There you go. Hit the bell. What is the business owner's mortgage penalty? And that's my made up words about what this is, John, right?
Yep.
But essentially, as a business owner, you're writing things off on your taxes and you're taking the correct tax deductions that you should have to lower your income.
Yep.
In doing so, you don't qualify for traditional mortgages.
Yep.
So in that scenario, you're going to have a rate adjustment.
Yep.
Okay. That's going to be a higher interest rate.
Yep.
And for that, there's going to be this offset penalty, but approximately in super, broad terms, what kind of interest rate adjustment are we looking at?
We're typically, if you're you're usually about 1% higher to 1.5% higher, just depending on certain criteria, than what a traditional home loan is. Okay.
Okay.
So it's nothing scary. And, yes, we've coming from the days where, rates were super, super low, and we've gone through these new adjustments and so forth. In all reality, when you really do the math on it, Mike, it makes sense to continue doing what you're doing with your business because the slight difference in the grand scheme of things doesn't make a huge difference,
Yeah. So let's kind of look through a scenario here, okay? And I'm going to even go and say it's 2%, right? For an adjustment, or 2.5%, whatever that number is.
Yep.
Okay. So if rates are currently at
5 7/8.
Okay, so we're going to round it and say 6%.
6%.
So we're going to say today's rates are about 6% for a conforming 30-year fixed
loan.
Yep. And now we're going to have a rate adjustment of 2%. So now it's going to be roughly
say 8%.
Okay. So now if we look at the mortgage and we do the calculation, we run that. Okay. And look at the difference between the two. That's what I would consider the penalty that the lender. Now, it's not you. You're not doing it.
Right.
It's what the market is requiring. But for an individual to buy the home without proper income documentation, that is traditional.
Right.
So now this business owner pays that penalty. But the offset for that is?
I mean, it's again, the offset isn't that much because, yes, it's a slightly higher payment, right? Slightly higher amount of interest. But if you kind of break down the math, it's a little bit different where if you were... Let's say you're claiming $300,000 in net income for the year. Okay, your tax liability on that is what, 90 grand or so that you'd probably be paying out in taxes.
Crazy.
Right. So it takes a lot of interest to make up $90,000, and that's on 1 year. Okay, So if you did traditional again, well, I got to make sure my tax returns. And I'm not encouraging anyone to do something different on their taxes. I'm not an accountant or CPA, right? But just looking at it logically and mathematically, right? The slight difference in mortgage payment or interest that you're paying over the term, definitely is in your favor versus paying that full blown of what you showed without doing your deductions that you're entitled to take and so forth.
Yeah.
So it really, I wouldn't say there's much of a penalty for it, really.
No. It's a net income.
I think it's a
net
positive,
gain.
really.
No, it really is.
We did this on a deal we kind of looked at, right? It was a $1.9 million home purchase. Business owner.
So let's talk about who wants to today write a contract on a property for $1.9 million.
Yep.
If so, call John.
Yes.
And call 3 of your favorite business owners.
Yes.
All right, keep going.
And we did the math on it, because we're looking at the variance in interest rate. And even as I'm looking, and we've been in an environment where rates are going up a little bit. The rate was a little bit higher than a traditional deal.
Right.
Okay. And if they had really wanted to qualify for a 1.9, it was actually 1.899. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, all right.
So if they would have really wanted to qualify for that, the tax liability that they would have been paying over the last couple years, was huge.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Huge,
the amount you have to make to qualify for, that price home, right? Is astronomical.
But their business bank statements backed up everything they had. Their personal statements backed up what they had.
Right.
That one actually used the P&L program, but because it just worked out to be a little simpler for them, right? But there's money there. These are clients that have money. They just need to be educated on what they can do to purchase the house that they want.
Perfect. And there is something else that would go with this that I want to say, right? So are there any prepayment penalties or anything like that in these different things?
No prepayment penalties on them.
Okay.
So you can still, if you win the lottery, you can pay it off. On some programs, they have them if you're trying to do like an interest-only type option. There's some stuff like that. But for most of them, they're, again, just the tradition. It's in front of those terms, there's no prepayment penalties or anything like that. So
that's great. So if something changes, and then they could pay additional principal payments off. So maybe you can always send in extras, right?
Yeah.
To do that, if you want to get that down, or you could refinance if interest rates go down. Just knowing that there's still the same delta, but you'll most likely be at a lower LTV in the future, and you could assess what's going on. Because you would have possibly a price appreciation in the home,
definitely
with a new appraisal, and you would also have maybe a new lower balance. So now maybe you went from 80% to 60% LTV or 40% LTV.
Right.
Is the individual going to have a better interest rate if they have?
Typically, yes, Mike. The lower the loan of value, the less the investor or lender looks at it as the risk factor, right? So higher LTV. Higher chance of maybe there's an issue with it. When someone has, 40, 50, 60% of equity in their home, they're going to pay it. They're going to figure a way to either make the payments or if there's a bigger issue, get the house on the market, keep their money. No one's going to want to walk from that amount of equity that they have in the house, So in all reality, it's actually truly a lower risk program because these do require larger down payments,
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much, John. So if anyone has anything that would help out any of these business owners, just contact John. He'll have all his information, and we'll get that over to you guys. But that's a great way to continue to grow your business. And the short answer is there's not actually a mortgage penalty. It's actually, if you net everything out, it's a positive.
100%.
A huge positive for being a business owner and how you can do it. You are going to have to put in extra effort, and you are going to know the right person to call. And John has been in the business for how many years now, John?
23 years.
23 years. That's
Aging myself.
That's a long time.
Got started in the beeper days.
All right. Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's get out of here.
All right. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate it.
Perfect.
You're welcome, man. That's fun.
That's good. All right. So that's a wrap. So that's a wrap, John. Thank you for joining us. I really can express to you how great it is to write off your income as a business owner and to also do this. John, I bring him on here because for a long time we really neglected the small business owner because we have lenders that are amazing at what they currently do, but they do not do this product. And as we were growing the business, we overlooked a huge segment of the business and just let things go. But as our agents want to grow their business, it's a great way to get into that. But you do have to have the right lender partner to be able to help you through it. And you need someone with experience. This is not a program that I would turn to like somebody who's been in the business for a year.
Right. You have to have experience on it from all levels on how to work it. Obviously, we handle your traditional home loans. This is a more complex process that has some extra steps, but as long as you address that stuff up front, it's almost an untapped market in some cases.
No, it really is, and that's why I wanted to bring it to you guys. So just think about it and look at the business owners that you know and think about them, and that's a huge potential for you. And I bet that they would be ready to upgrade. So if the economy's been great, which it has been for a long time now, people have been sitting and putting money aside. If you know the people that have had that growing business, I bet you they have really good cash reserves now and are just a little unsure, and they hear no a lot on things. And I bet you that they are ready to get into a bigger and better place or something different and change their latitude, because they've had great times now.
Yeah.
And now's the perfect time. I bet you can write a couple of multi-million-dollar transactions within the next 30 days if you think about it and then you put them in touch, and you'll be good.
That's it. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. See you guys. Remember, 10 o'clock.
Thanks,
Hit the bell. So now we're doing behind the scenes. We're going to put this on. Let me take my earpiece out so you can hear Omkar again. Were you a wholesale lender for a while?
Back in the day, remember?
That's what I thought. I was like, I was trying to think, and I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Ready? Okay, so let's look here. The camera. Okay, got your picture. And now he's going to put the topics up.
Okay.
First topic would be introducing John Lutcza.
All right, so John, introducing John. I'm going to pull out some money just because that's John. I think John's going to have some cash on him. That's like,
I like it.
okay, we got your picture there. I think John's going to have a fat stack on him. So we got that. Now let's see, what do we got next?
What is a non-QM home loan?
A non-QM home loan. Hold up the calculator here. Just give us a prop.
And it's coming up now.
Okay,
Got it.
got that. And what is the business owner's mortgage penalty? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll hold up my coffee cup.
Penalty.
That's now not even showing up.
Now. Okay, got it.
Okay, thank you, Omkar. I'll hit the mic.
It's a great, great day. It's a good day. Get up. Can't you see the sun shining? I woke up and I rolled out of bed. Got dressed and I left at 10. Check my nails, looking good. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Oh yeah. I know this'll be the day. Everything will be okay. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day. No more crying myself to sleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, cause I hear music playing on these streets. Ain't nobody gonna cry today. Ain't nobody gonna die today. I kiss my cares all away. It's gonna be a good, good day. It's gonna be a good, good day. Good, good day. Gonna be a good, good day. I think it's finally all gonna go my way. Rain or shine, no, I don't mind. This day is mine. I'm gonna chase all those gray clouds away. asleep and thinking better days are a far off dream. Get up and I move my feet, 'cause I hear music play.